Okay, what's going on? Vince Rapsardi, BigBlueAndBias.com. Thank you to those who've liked, commented, and subscribed. If you guys can give this video a thumbs up, if you could comment, I would really appreciate that. It helps the algorithm, and it gets more people to find our channel so we can talk New York Giants football. So in this video, we're going to talk about some roster moves that the Giants went ahead and made today, but we're also going to talk about Kadarius Toney and what the analytics say about his performance on Sunday, as well as the Giants' offensive line. I think you're going to be fairly impressed by what you hear in this video. So let's start with some news. Let's start with some roster news. The Giants went ahead and they protected offensive tackle Corey Cunningham, center Jonathan Harrison, defensive tackle David Moa, and wide receiver Dante Pettis. They also signed Ka'dar Hollman to the practice squad. Hollman was a former 6th-round pick of the Packers back in 2019. There's not too much to say. He's bounced around. He's been with the Saints, the Texans, and now he's with the Giants. And look, if Ka'dar Hollman is making a big impact with the Giants, it's probably a bad thing. That means that there have been a bunch of injuries and things that not go well for their secondary. But I do want to make sure that I keep you guys updated on what their roster situation looks like, and it's big to keep Dante Pettis because I think you never know. We've seen Shepard, we've seen Slayton, John Ross. These guys have been injured a lot. Matt Slayton has been injured a lot, but you see him injured now. Shepard's been injured a lot. John Ross has been injured a lot. I think a player like Dante Pettis, to make sure that you kind of keep him there on the sideline just in case you need him, makes total sense. You want to make sure that you retain a veteran player like that who, you can somewhat trust. He's got some potential. So that is that. So let's talk about the Giants' offensive line. You look at the numbers, and I'll show the tweet right here. Daniel Jones has been pressured on 21% of his dropbacks. That's 12th best. Now, 12th best, you got to take out some quarterbacks who haven't. They've only had, let's say, 20 attempts. There's some wide receivers in there that have thrown some footballs. But if you put in quarterbacks that have at least 60, 70 attempts plus, you're talking about the 12th best pressure percentage in the NFL. That's what you would like to see. Now, pressure percentage isn't everything because it does kind of determine on the quarterback holding onto the football. Not 100%, but there is a certain element that the quarterback's holding onto the football a long time, or maybe he doesn't know what he's doing. I think that's what Daniel Jones was as a rookie. The offensive line actually wasn't that bad if you looked at the analytics, but he held onto the ball a lot, and then he usually got hit and he fumbled a lot. But obviously his pocket awareness and presence has improved dramatically here in his third season, and he looks really, really good. So you look at that number, 12th best in terms of pressure percentage. So they're doing a nice job when protecting Jones and giving him time, and he's not under constant duress. But also the pocket time. He's 4th among quarterbacks in pocket time with at least 2.5 seconds. The Giants' offensive line is really starting to step up, and I think most people who watch it, even if you take the analytics out of it, I think most people who are watching the games are saying, wow, they're pass protecting fairly well. It looks like Jones is back there. It looks like he's fairly comfortable. It looks like he has enough time to go out there and make plays. I mean, I haven't watched too much Giants football this year where I said, wow, Jones is just getting absolutely beat up, and they have no shot. Like, he's just getting beat up. He's not going to be able to make plays downfield. He's not going to be able to look downfield. He's not going to be able to do anything because he just keeps getting hit. I haven't really said that too much. I haven't noticed that. I think that they've done a fairly nice job protecting him. Their pass block win rate has slumped down from, I think it was after week 2, they were like 4th in the league. It slumped down to like high teens. But I think anyone who's watching them notices that they're definitely playing pretty good in terms of protecting him, and in terms of pressure percentage and in terms of pocket time. The numbers are there in terms of some of their production, and you look at Andrew Thomas hasn't allowed a sack either. I don't think pressures and sacks are everything. I know I've talked about that in my videos. They're not everything because, like I said, sometimes it does depend on the quarterback. If the quarterback is not progressing through reads quick enough and he's hanging in the pocket too long, it could lead to sacks and pressures that really are not so much the fault of the offensive line. It could be the quarterback. But at the end of the day, it's not like they don't mean anything. Of course, sacks and pressures do mean something. And when you see a pressure percentage, 12th best, it's good. When you see that he has a ton of pocket time, 4th best, that's good too. You want to see those things, those are good. Andrew Thomas, like I said, hasn't allowed a sack. He's 6th in run block win rate. He's been outstanding. He's on his way to a Pro Bowl, All-Pro kind of season. And, look, it was a rough start for him last year in the beginning of his career and his rookie season. But I always thought he would kind of eventually get on his feet. I didn't think he was going to be a bad player. And you're starting to see him really develop into a franchise left tackle. He looks good. And you're in year 2. Like I said, I think by year 3, you're going to be saying he's one of the best left tackles in the NFL. Without question. We're certainly trending in that direction by what we're seeing with Andrew Thomas. And quickly, I just want to talk about Kadarius Toney. He forced 5 missed tackles on Sunday, the most of any wide receiver in the NFL. Again, human joystick. He reminds me of Dante Hall. Some people have even kind of seen like a Tyreek Hill. They've gotten a Tyreek Hill vibe from him as a receiver. The guy is a talent. The guy is an absolute talent. You just keep feeding him the football. I think there should be certain requirements in the Giants offense where certain players have to get a certain amount of targets. There's too much talent here for the Giants. There's too much talent not to continue to score points and ultimately win football games. We can blame Dave Gettleman a lot. We can say this and that, and at the end of the day, if they don't win, I understand if he gets fired, right? That's the goal, is to win football games, and you have to come up with wins. You can't just keep, selling people this dream that, but they're trending in the right direction. They got to win games. Obviously, Sunday was a big step forward for them. But at the end of the day, I think he's put the Giants in a nice spot offensively with a lot of their young guys specifically, but obviously Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard still on the roster. Kyle Rudolph, I think you'll see a little bit more of him moving forward, but we'll see with him. But overall, looks like he found a franchise quarterback, franchise left tackle, a really, really good playmaking running back who I look at as a playmaker. I don't just look at him specifically as a running back in Barkley. Toney looks elusive as hell. Got Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton. Even though I know a lot of people are a little bit down on Darius Slayton right now, he's still a solid wide receiver. He was still a really nice find in the 5th round. Don't completely throw him away. He can still make plays. He's a guy that averages 15 yards per reception. That's who he is. So don't give up on Darius Slayton just yet.